Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. It is so awesome to be back with you. Well, today I'm just sitting here looking at one of my little pieces of silver jewelry. I don't know if I've shown this one to you. This is one of my moon pendants. This is the face of the moon, the man in the moon with the star. Classic motif, man in the moon. But I love this, because I am a moon worshiper as well as a sun worshiper. But I love the ancient pagan symbols and the concepts of worship of the ancient moon and the ancient sun and the earth. It really touches my soul and it gives me great spiritual awareness. I was sitting here today as I was looking at my jewelry and thinking about, gosh, I've been a Wiccan now over 20 years. It's really weird how the time goes, but I remember when I first discovered the craft and how much it really changed my life. Wicca for me literally was life-changing. And I think it's because it is a religion, a practice that is life-affirming. Wicca tells us that there is power in the very moon and that we are connecting. We can connect and are connected to that power. That there is power in the earth that will heal us. That the sun gives us life. All of these mysteries. We're told that by wearing the very silver, as you can see, I'm wearing silver rings and silver necklace, that this gives us blessing of power too. It enhances our psychic ability. Once I discovered Wicca, I think that my life changed dramatically in that I had an awakening of the interconnectedness of life and my connection to the mysteries all about me. I had this kind of awakening. It was like an awe, there's a song by John Denver, Rocky Mountain High. And there's a line in there that says, it was in the 27th year that he came home. And they said, some could say he was born again. And I always like that because I feel like when I met Wicca, it was like being born again. Some of my wonderful devout Christian friends tell me, they said, Bob, I was born again in Christ. I understand that. I think that's beautiful, because I think that when you touch in on spiritual truth, it transforms you. And I think Wicca is no different than any other faith, that you can be born again. And a few years ago, I wrote a book. Some of you guys have read this, but if you haven't, you might want to check it out. It's called Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. And I have a little section in here that I thought I'd read today. It's called The Born Again Pagan. Now, just so you know, this book, it's about my thoughts about my 20 years of being a Wiccan. And it's got articles, and it's kind of like a book you can just pick up at random and read any page because it's written with various subjects throughout. It's not like you have to read it like a story. But here, also on every page, I've put artworks as well. I did all of the drawings and the artwork in the book. And on this page, it shows a picture of a crystal egg with the moonlight. Isn't that cool? So this is my own artwork. All the artworks are my copied right artworks that I designed. But there's an article here called The Born Again Pagan that I wrote, and I thought I would share that with you today. Now, some of you who have bought this book will maybe have read this, but if you haven't, or even if you had, just gather around. Let's just have a little read along and a listen in, okay? So, hold on, I got to put on my glasses here. All right, 20 years ago when I started as a Wiccan, I didn't have to wear glasses. 20 years later, I'm wearing glasses. One of the changes of life. The Born Again Pagan. Every Ostara/Easter, I love to contemplate the symbol of the egg. So there you go, there's the egg. I can't help but chuckle at my devout Christian friends who decorate their homes with Easter eggs. They are the first to always condemn pagan ways. They who are always first to condemn pagan ways never realize where their egg symbol comes from. I have a bumper sticker that says, Born Again Pagan on it. When I first bought it, I got it as a reaction to recent attacks I had received by fundamentalist Christians. I was tired of being told that I was hellbound, and that I was a heathen, and that I was living a life of sin by practicing the craft. I thought, if one more fundie shows up and says, "Are you born again?" then I could honestly answer them, yes, and proudly display my sticker. What is interesting, though, as I contemplated the meaning of this term, born again, I found truth in it. Since coming to the craft, I have been born again. I have become a child of the goddess and the god. I know my mother Gaia, and that I truly come from her. I have found new life in attuning to the natural world. Instead of having dominion over it, as some churches would have me do, I have learned to forgive my persecutors. In place of fear-based, loud street preaching, I have learned the power of silence. I have also discovered reincarnation and see the double entendre in being literally born again by entering this life. It makes sense to me that our spirits need many lifetimes to experience all that the soul can grasp. If we look at the natural world, reincarnation is also a natural process. After a forest fire, the forest and the scorched land are reborn and growth begins again. I have finally come around to agreeing with my Christian neighbors and saying, yes, we should all be born again. So that's just a little chapter from my book, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. If you've been wanting to explore the craft more and, delve into some of the mysteries, you might want to pick up my book. Now, you can get this over at my website, and the link will be below this video at PsychicBob.com. Up at the top, you'll see a store tab, and if you click on that, you can get this book over there. So I hope you'll check it out. And, we have a lot of articles in here. It's quite a wonderful book. Here's one of my other pictures. This is a guy and a witch in a thunderstorm. That's my chapter on weather magic. We've got chapters on everything. Freedom of choice. How the craft allows us to think for ourselves. Learning from each other. There's a lot of my 20 years of wisdom in this book. So I invite you to explore it. Anyways, guys, I just want to share those thoughts with you today. And I'd like to hear from you. Are you a born-again pagan? Do you understand that term? Has it ever crossed your mind? Did you ever have a moment of spiritual awakening in your life? Whether Wiccan or pagan or Christian or whatever, it doesn't matter. What has been your spiritual awakening? How have you been born again? Maybe you've never had that experience and think, Bob, I don't get any of that. That's okay too. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Tell me about your spiritual awakenings in your life, if you'd like to. I know some awakenings are so sacred and you can't really share them, and I understand that. But if you have something that you want to share, if you like it, tell me below. Anyways, I'm going to sit here today and contemplate my mystical moon pendant. I'm going to look at my pentagrams around me and just reflect on how much joy and power the craft has brought into my life. So thank you guys for being here. I'm going to keep this short today. Oh, by the way, real quick, if you haven't done so, pop over to my website and get my latest print of my latest painting. This is Blue Reality 4. It is available for free download. Get that at PsychicBob.com also. So if you go over there to get your free print. You can also look at the book over there, Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. You can see both of these over at PsychicBob.com. Also, don't forget about my t-shirts. I have a t-shirt store here at YouTube. If you go to right below this video, you'll see our t-shirts. You can get a Psychic Bob t-shirt. So check out my store there as well. Guys, thanks for being here. You guys are so wonderful. Listen, if you want to, excuse me, if you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, give me a call at my office, 703-825-3929. I would love to hear from you. You know, private reading, it's a full hour. You and me, one-on-one. We sit down, we explore everything. Look at your whole soul journey, past, present, future. Identify your spirit guides, bring messages from them, deceased loved one messages, past life links, life themes, all of that, and I answer all your questions. So if you'd like to sit with Psychic Bob would love to sit with you. Give me a call, 703-825-3929 is my number. Again, it'll be in the box below if you forget it. Guys, thanks for being here. I'm looking forward to hearing from you in your comments, so put them in the box below for me and tell me about your moments of spiritual awakening and if you have experienced being born again. You guys rock. I love you. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Saturday. We're going to have our Saturday seance. Be here. We'll see you then. I love you guys. And until tomorrow, may all of you always blessed